Jesus Christ, I'm so pissed off. Fuck. Fuck. God.
I personally think that if all of these men are voting to take our rights away, they don't deserve to touch a woman for the next 4 years. So, hope you thought that through, you guys.
You voted against me. You voted against my right to live. You voted against all the women and their rights. I hope you enjoy your cheap fucking gas.
What the hell? You cannot be serious. How did I wake up to this garbage as my president? That's right, garbage. I went to bed last night and she was ahead. I woke up to this freaking nightmare.
No!
Holy shit.
Why?
Life could be worse. No, not really.
What is wrong with you? I can't do this anymore. I'm literally sick. I'm literally sick to my stomach. What has happened to America? What has happened to democracy? What has happened to freedom? I'm done. I'm
criminal, authentically horrible human being. I also blame the Democrats for doing this. How hard is it to beat him? It's not that hard. He's a fake ass motherfucker who is not a real human being. He's a piece of shit. Democrats, how could you not beat him?
Listen, guys, now I know y'all seen from all those clips, these are the reactions of Trump, winning the White House. Like I told you guys gave me a dream a couple weeks ago about him winning, the White House and stuff. And I remember, I think it was like 4 months ago, I remember seeing the number 4 and I was asking God, like, what did the number 4, what are you showing me? And I remember that first day I watched his first rally, and I remember he was saying that it's going to be the best 4 years ever. And so, that's the dream came to me. But I wanted to talk to you guys. Those reactions that you are seeing, the Bible said we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. You got to understand, this is a spiritual battle. This was a fight. This election right here was more than just a regular election. This was an election on, are you on God's side? Or are you on the spirit of the Antichrist side? We all know that the Bible said that the Antichrist spirit is already moving through the earth. The actual person is not here, but the spirit is moving. It's moving through the college education systems. It's moving through the, schools. It's moving through, social media and, politics and stuff like that. So there's a lot of open doors that the devil has. There's a lot of tools and different things as far as like industries and all that stuff that he's pushing the Antichrist agenda. That's what this whole election thing was all about. It's all about, are you on God's side or are you on Satan's side? Now, like I said, everybody is flawed, but at the same time, God still uses whoever he wants to use. I don't understand with human beings. They feel like that they have a way of how they think that God should do this, or how the way God's supposed to move, or they say God is supposed to be doing this. Why would he be using that? Why he would be doing that? We don't dictate who God uses. Let me get that clear. We don't dictate who he uses. And this is where we can really be in danger, when we put our mouths on people that God have his hands on, because we may not like the person. And that's why I tell everybody, if the world is telling you to hate somebody, if the world is telling you don't listen to certain people and stuff like that, 9 out of 10, that person is living in some truth. And so so many people, and I'm gonna say Christians, there's Christians out there that listen to the media so much, they are so consumed about what the media say, way more than what God is saying. They say they hear from God when 90% of the time they're hearing from the media. And anytime the media is looking at somebody wrong, or saying something about this person, slandering their names and different things like that, just have so much hatred towards them. Anytime the media does that, 9 out of 10, they're living in some truth, whether people want to believe it or not. We clearly see what the lady did to the country, whether people don't want to acknowledge it. She was destroying the country. Common sense things that never should have got out of place. what's out of place. And Trump is willing to go back in and put things back into place. Like I said, Trump, we don't trust in Trump. We trust God to move through Trump. People in the spirit sees this stuff. So this is why even when I'm doing this video, I'm going to have controversy. I'm going to have people to say, I've had people call me Satan. I've had people call me a false prophet. I mean, I had people say they call me every name in the book, especially up on Instagram. They be hammering me up over there because I stand for what is right. All because I said, hey, Trump is using him. And they are so hot about that because they have a way that they think that God should move. I don't know why God is our creator of heaven and earth. God is the creator. God can do whatever he want to do. He don't need an approval from man. And these people are touching some dangerous grounds, trying to dictate the way how they think God should move. That's how you know they don't have no relationship, because if they really had a true relationship with Christ, they wouldn't be saying the stuff that they be saying. Oh, God wouldn't use that. God wouldn't use that. You wouldn't be talking about that if you was really close with God and had a relationship with him, because you will understand that God does whatever he wants to do. It don't matter what we feel. It don't matter what the emotions is. God does whatever he wants to do. And either you're going to get on that train and go where he's telling you to go, vote who he's telling you to vote for. If you ain't going to get up on that train, guess what? You're going to fall into destruction. And I hate to say it, but that's what it is. If you're not going to be in alignment of what God is doing, get off the boat. Get off the boat quickly. Because like the Bible said, God used the foolish things. What God knew him using Trump. God knew that there was going to be a lot of people that was going to reject it. He knew that look, you got to think about it, they try to assassinate. They try to do all that. They try to rig the whole election. They try to put him in jail with all these the felonies and stuff. They did all these things, and he's still standing. You got to know that was God that was holding his life together. And I believe it was to humble him, because before God uses anybody, he has to humble. A person has to humble before they can be used by God. That assassination, that was him to be humbled, to let him know, to realize that, hey, this is a real war. And it's way more than what it is in the physical. It's a spiritual battle. I can't imagine what's going on in the spirit. I can even feel it, that it's a lot going on in the spiritual realm. And I tell you guys, whatever's happening in the spiritual realm is going to eventually manifest in the physical. So I don't want to get all too sidetracked, but I just want to just let you guys know that even though these people are acting the way that they're acting, it's unusual behavior that most people are not usually. You can usually see people get mad and stuff, but when they're screaming and they're just furious, I can see the demonic spirits within them that is controlling them. It's like it's screaming out of them, like, man, we was almost there pushing these deceptions. Like you can just see it on them. I was able to see things physically, but I'm able to start to see the spirit that's on these people that are manifesting, especially with the women's and stuff. You can see the demonic spirits manifesting through them. Because what do they all care about? All they care about is getting rid of a baby. That's what they care about. That's always been the agenda. That's all they care about. They don't care about nothing else. And then they will use they will use the extreme conversation. You know what? RAPE. They'll go to the extreme to get you to shut down and listen to them. And when you look at the scale of that, that's only 2%. I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not saying that, because any woman that goes through that, that's horrible. But you can't argue that 2% to the majority of the time. Because they said there's a lot of reasons that they do this stuff, getting rid of kids, whether they want to go to college, or they wasn't ready, or it was an accident. Like it's a lot of reasons why, and that's in the 90%. So you can't argue a 2%, but see, that's what they do. The devil used them to bring up. The devil will use them to bring up a tough. It was almost there. He would cause them to bring up an extreme situation to try to persuade you to basically to persuade you, to get you more into your emotions, to get you more to be more agreeable than agreeing with the word of God. Because we can't at the end of the day, God look at that as murder. He look at that as murder. I don't care if you didn't physically actually did something to somebody or did something to that baby or whatever like that, but you agreeing and saying, "Hey, this is what I want to do." You're part of that participation, and this ain't the bash. The ones that had got the ABORTIONS whatever. God can still forgive you, and you don't have to live in that. Because a lot of times with them reacting the way they're reacting is because of guilt. They know it was wrong of what they did, and God is here to forgive you. But you can't keep pushing this stuff like it's normal, like this is good, because it's not good, not in God's eyes. In the world eyes, it's not that bad, because why? The world wants destruction. That's what it wants. God don't want that. You can be forgiven, but at the same time, you got to come into acknowledgement like, "Hey, Lord, I shouldn't have done that. That was the wrong decision. Lord, please forgive me," and move forward. Because when you keep holding that in you, you're gonna always be the one pointing fingers at everybody else, but not yourself. Sometimes we make decisions off our own feelings and off our own emotions, and we have to examine our life. We have to examine that. And there's a lot of people that don't do it. They don't think, because the world tell them, you don't have to do that. It's okay. It's okay. You had to do that because you don't want to bring them into any kind of excuses the devil give of a reason why I've taken a child's life. But at the end of the day, God doesn't approve that. God is in control of the life. And so I don't want to go deep into all that stuff, but I'm just here to just let people know that type of behavior that you've seen from them footages, we're going to see more of that and even worse. We're going to see more of that and even worse, because it just goes to show you that those footages shows you that people over here in America, they want deception more than anything. It just goes to show you. The Bible said that Satan has blinded the eyes of the unbelievers. There's a lot of unbelievers that are truly blind, and that's what we're going to have to really get in prayer. And there's some of them, most of them is reprobated mind. Some of these people, they done got to a point, they said, look, I love deception. I'm going to support deception. Some of them can't even tell what's real and what's true and what's false. They can. They're just in a place of confusion because the Satan, he's got their eyes just like this. They can't even see the truth. That's why when you give them the scripture, that's why when you try to tell them, they get angry and they get mad and they get in their feelings, because they don't have no argument. All their arguments is emotions and feelings. That's all it is. No kind of logic, no nothing. So when you challenge people like that, that think like these type of people that you see overreacting, when you challenge these people, you're going to get emotional. You're going to get emotional response. They're going to call you names. They're going to slander your name. They're going to say, "Oh, you hate women. Oh, you this and that." They're going to throw all things at you. They already going around talking about Christians that voted for Trump is ungodly and all this and that. They're throwing a lot of words out there. And I'm just like, that's all they got to throw, because it's already done. Trump is in the house. So the people of the Democratic Party, that's all they're going to do is just talk stuff. That's just what it is. And we're going to hear a lot of it, because why? We have pushed against their agendas. We done gave Satan, with all the prayers we done prayed, we done gave Satan a black eye, and he's not pleased with that. And so even though he's in the White House, it's a great thing he's in the White House, but we got to continue to pray for him, because they're going to try to assassinate, him again. They're going to try it. They're not going to let off of Trump. They're going to try it again. I'm telling you, Satan is not done. But we can pray the cover and the protection to be upon Trump, that none of these things won't prosper. God didn't bring him this far to allow these things to happen. But there's a lot of things that they're trying to say, that they're trying to do towards him. So it goes to show you, we are in a spiritual battle. There's a war going on, and it's time for people to wake up. But these manifestations, man, it just goes to show you, man, most Majority of people over here in the United States are lost, and they don't even know it. They don't even know. And the sad thing is, the most biggest deception is the devil make them feel like they're living in truth. The devil make them feel like that they're right. What did the Bible say? Men think they're right in their own eyes. They think that how the way they talk, the way they believe, the way they see things is correct. And the people that are a child of God, that are truly in the faith of Christ, are the delusional ones. That's the biggest deception, because you're living your whole life living the deception, and Satan got you really feeling and thinking that you live correctly. That's a big deception, man. It's a sad time we're living in. But I'm glad he's in the White House. We're just going to continue to pray that these 4 years be the greatest 4 years, and that we're going to push for Jesus as much as possible. Revival will happen. And love you guys in next time in Jesus Christ's name.